What time is it? Okay, we have some fabulous live music later on, but right now, here's the kind I prefer.
What's up? This is your boy Styles of WestCoastRydaz.com, and we're on the West Coast Styles YouTube channel, the OG WCR, and we got a special guest in the house, my longtime friend, Jason Problem Martin, Compton legend, the Compton phenom. Brother, thank you for joining us, man. I appreciate you, man. It's been a long time, bro, but man, I've been watching, and I'm so proud of you and everything that you're doing, bro. And thank you for joining us on WestCoastStyles.com, man.
Come on, man. This is so beautiful to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Because this is like a full circle for me. You know what I'm saying? My career basically started on West Coast Riders. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to talk to you so many years later, man, it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Yeah, and let's go all the way back. I'm gonna rewind to 2004. Your uncle, you were a producer actually,
right?
And started rapping, and your uncle Ed Jones was really pushing your career, and he mailed me your demo, and I sat on it for weeks. Probably I'd say about like 3 or 4 weeks. I sat on it because I was just so busy running West Coast Riders, and I'm getting all this new music, and all these artists are approaching me. So I'm going through it all like one by one. But he keeps texting me, calling me like, "Hey, did you check out the CD?" And I keep kindly brushing him off, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, I'll get to it. And then one day I played one of the songs, and I was like, whoa, and then I remember it was North Hollywood. We were having like an interview event with all these people coming through to interview, and I invited you to come through, and we just played your whole CD, and we interviewed you, and man, it's been on and cracking since, man.
Oh man, yeah, man. Shout out to Ed Jones. Me and Ed was just together like a couple of days ago. His son is going crazy. He got a son named Jay Young, and you got to check out. He's a new wave, but I can see what it's about to be. But yeah, man. Ever since that day, man, I've been locked in, bro. And again, I'm just happy to still be here. You know what I mean? So many artists have just came and went during that time, and even just like what West Coast Riders was for like all of us. Like that was the first time like digitally we could be heard outside of our regions. Like that shit needs to be documented. Like from me to Kendrick to J Rock to Nipsey to Dom to Glasses to Bishop to Rocket to Terrence to all of us. And then even Snoop, like that was the first time you could hit a button and hear and see what was going on with us. So you guys are ahead of y'all time, man. Super ahead of your time.
A little bird told me you're making a documentary about me or something like that. Is that what I heard, right?
Yeah, man. I definitely want to. That's why I keep calling you. I mean, y'all got to give me that old footage and pictures when y'all can. I want to really. You got to think, man. That site like really was a game changer in so many different ways because I'm from Compton and I've literally had a battle with somebody I had never met in my life, like right there on your site in your forums. Like the forums used to go crazy. And
yeah, the forums were crazy.
Right, like bad luck. We became best friends just from me introducing, you guys together. It was a lot of connections happen off that site. And I'm just I'm so happy to just see you, brother, and see that you still doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I just decided, on earlier last year, to just do it again.
Right.
Do it again. You know what I mean? Hey, why not? You know what I mean? And just so I did it. I launched it on my birthday. I had Corrupt as the first interview. So I just had to go full circle and go right back to the roots. You know what I mean? And man, but let's talk about some of the old days, man. You mentioned that battle. Oh man, that was such a crazy memory. I remember you were battling Problem Child because you both had the same problem names. Yeah. And I remember, man, he dished you on the forum, and you responded back. And I remember you drove out. I think it was up to Palmdale, or Lancaster, to record.
Yeah, that was.
And then you drove to my house in Sun Valley, dropped off the CD. I uploaded it because you really weren't familiar, with tech, being tech savvy at the time.
Nah, not
I
at
up,
all.
I uploaded it, and man, and that involved me. Somehow people wanted to fight me over that, as well as
that,
you.
that was again. I think that's why I think like for the younger artists, just to hear what we had to go through to be heard back then, man. I think that's probably why a lot of the artists take these moments for granted. The fact they can just do a song and then upload it, and then they got a chance to sell millions of records. That just wasn't the reality back in the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? So to me, like that was my version of the internet. Let me go drive. I got the studios in Lancaster. I'm in Compton. All right, let me go an hour, set up the play, get it done because I got to respond fast, just so I can let people see that it ain't no. You don't just get to just say anything about me. That's not how it goes.
Yeah,
So to just map that ride out, and man, I end up beating dude. So it ended up working out well. It all working out well for me.
man. I think it was no, it was Boss who you were fighting, not Problem Child. It was
It
Boss.
was it was boss, and he had somebody named Problem Child like come out of nowhere. So that's why
That's right.
then I had bad luck talking on the song, and I had like glasses talking like, "Don't play, like we got our own little crew over here." But we ended up talking after that, and they tried to come with like to threaten me and stuff like that. But then we ended up having mutual friends, and it kind of just was like, "Man, this ain't that deep. Like, chill out." But it was dope
Yeah,
though. That
yeah,
was dope.
yeah. I remember you used the "Who's the Boss" theme from the TV show to start off the track. But
Man,
we've
I
had
thought
some good times. What's that?
Man, that's when it was pure, man. That's when it was like all about like, wow, you just want to be the best. That would be for like the business and just the chaoticness of trying to keep up with what's going on all the time. That was just like, man, this was a way we can be heard like by so many people at one time. Like that was
Yeah,
like at the time that you had to get somebody your CD or your tape, or you had to be on the radio to be heard by that many people at once. You guys like really created a bridge from us. And I thank you guys tremendously.
yeah. And we I mean, we've had some fun times in those early days. I remember we took a Vegas trip. I got invited to go up to Vegas because the 50 Cent and Eminem were having a concert up there. And you were like, hey, let's roll. And so we rolled up there, and
Mm-hmm.
man, we had a blast.
Yeah.
Going to the clubs, and we got drunk. And I
Right.
remember driving down the strip, and I was so drunk, and I was going so slow. I think, and I was slurring my words because I remember you were making fun of me. You were making fun of the way I was pronouncing things. It's you and Nero,
Yeah.
and and I remember everywhere we stopped, man, you knew somebody out in Vegas. Whether it was a girl or a homie, or I was like, damn, man, this guy. You were still coming up in the game, but at the same time, you were pretty popular out there. And I remember I didn't even know where we were gonna sleep, but you were like, "Hey, let's." I have a homie here, and next, I'm on someone's couch.
Nah,
Like,
man,
I don't
back
even know where the hell I'm at.
you I mean, just from really like I wasn't like I had my times where I dabbled in the street stuff, but I wasn't like a street guy. But I would be in the streets, if that makes any sense. So I just knew so many people, and I've always just been a guy like I've always extended my hand to people like when they need something, I give it to them, and so a lot of people just look to return favors. And
Mhm.
I'm like, man, I'm out here. You told me to come. That's how we used to get down though. It was more of a village back then,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. But one thing I remember about that night is there was a promoter who had that after party event that we went through. And I remember he let me in VIP, but he wouldn't let you and Nero in. And he was like, I mean, you were still coming up, but at the same time, I think about that. I was like, man, if you'd have been like kinder to you, maybe you would like how you in the game. Maybe you would have helped the boy out with his company if he wasn't such an ass.
Hey man,
As far as like, you gotta be kind to people.
you gotta treat everybody with respect, man. You never know who's gonna be what. But I heard the thing is, man, even like with promoters and stuff, man, they all got a job to do. So
Yeah.
back then I probably did. I get it now, just being like having to like run my own companies and different stuff like that. You kind of understand they're getting the information from the top. So I don't be tripping. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to dude.
Yeah. But I just think about that. I was like, man, this is a problem now, man. That was the wrong one to like push away. But anyway, but man, back then, I mean, I saw the promise. I labeled you the Compton Phenom, man. You
Yeah.
just a few songs out, but I was like, this is the Compton Phenom, and you turned into the Compton Phenom.
Man,
I mean, man,
thank you.
brother. I mean, you're a Compton legend now. You know what I mean? And it's like,
I still can't
the
believe
way
it, bro. It still trips me out, like to this day. Like, wow, like just how everything just went. You know what I mean? It's amazing. It's humbling. I'm happy. I'm happy to still even be able to put out music that people want to hear. You know what I mean? I'm damn near my shit. We in my third decade of being around rap music, and I still have to say so in the way things kind of work. I had great teammates all the time, you know what I'm saying? And my friends, I have very, very talented friends. So we've been able to keep each other afloat when things get tricky in this business, man. Shout out to my brother Terrence Martin. Um, man, like for cats like you though, like you know what I'm saying? Like for you to go out on the limb and me with a 3-4 few songs in, for you to give me that title as a phenom so early, it made people respect me off rip. Like, well, if the editor of this establishment that we all respect is calling him that, it made people put some respect on my name. So I appreciate that, brother.
Man, bro, the one thing I really respect is that this whole time though, I mean, you didn't go the major label route.
All right.
You know what I mean? Like, you weren't signed to the big conglomerates. You know what I mean? This is
Right.
something that you've accomplished on your own. Basically independent. I know you're with Rostrum now, but all these years though, from that time to now, I mean, you've grinded it out on your own independently. You know what I
Yeah, we
mean?
did it from Durange to Diamond Line. Even now, like I'm in a leasing partnership with them, so we still own everything. So yeah, man, we just stuck to our guns. I will say that it's been a lot harder than we probably made it look, because now it's like the wave to be independent, but when it wasn't, um, it was tough, and they tried to shun us out a few times, and they tried to let our money run out, and we went through all these different things of just trying to. People thought we were against them, we were just pro us, but sticking to your guns, man, creates champions, and we still
Yeah.
here. We're not on nobody's shelf, man. We can put out
Because
music.
I know Republic was messing with you for a minute. You know what I mean? You had
Oh
a
yeah,
single
my
deal with
first
Republic.
deal. Yeah, I had the singles deal, man. And I kind of peeped it quick on how that worked in there. I saw it fast. I and then at the time again, just like everything was so based on like the BDS radio system. Me being signed to a label that was predominantly in New York, they had no clue of what my records were doing out here. Like I'm told, I'm fucked up record was going crazy out here, but I would have to call them and tell them, and it was just like, just seeing how it worked and how the money worked, and just all this asking. And I just came from a situation where we would put out the music, sell it, and we were feeding 5-6 different men off of one mixtape for a whole year, and like we really were making a decent amount of money. So to have to go from like doing it our way to asking somebody, I knew quick, like, nah, I'm never doing that again. Like I just won't. So when the labels came, like when the Diamond Line situation arrived, and then the rush came, all type of deals were coming, all type of deals were coming. They wanted to have it their way still. And we just was like, nah, it just don't make any sense. But again, chances make champions, rather.
Yeah, yeah, that's dope, man. Though, yeah, I imagine that the road was kind of bumpy, but I mean, at the same time, I don't think you would have had it any other way, because you own everything now, and you've got the coffee and Kush thing going, for coffee and Kush. Tell me about that, because I mean, one brings you up and one brings you down, kind of, So yeah, so what's that all about, brother?
It's about creating balance. In life, we're always up or we're always down. Sometimes we need to be centered to focus on the goal, and that's what Coffee and Kush did for me. As you notice, I'm like a 180 from the guy I was. 10 years ago. So instead of like going to record at 8 o'clock at night to 8 in the morning, I recorded from 8:30 in the morning to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So just with switching up the regimen, instead of alcohol and women and shit, is my coffee and my weed. And it's just me there, just giving my thoughts. And it just created a different style that I had put out before. Knowing that I was going against it, the gift and the curse of being popular at one thing, your fans want you to do that one thing. So knowing that I had to go against that, I had to make sure I had a lot of music and a lot of planning and a lot of different things to go around it, so you can see that, for one, I'm not, this is the future, this is me, this is my truth now, and this is bigger than you guys see. I've been able to collab. I've been able to take $2 billion entities and put them in one spot. So business wise, you'll be able to see that, yeah, I started a green hour coffee company, and I have my own marijuana brands that are getting ready to hit the line. So it's bigger than just the album, but the albums and the moments and Coffee and Kush, the umbrella, it all around just from being focused finally and having that balance.
Mm-hmm. Now, I noticed that you went from Mollywood to Coffee and Kush.
Yeah.
Tell me about your Mollywood days, man.
Oh man, great times. Like honestly, like that's a great segue to why Coffee and Kush, I feel like is 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 at the budding stages of really going crazy, because just knowing the similarities of how I did it with the Mollywood stuff was, there are concepts that are still there. There's a product, there was a Molly, there was a sound, and nobody had never heard what that sounded like before. Now you may have heard that party music, or you may have heard of a Molly, but this gave it a soundtrack. So with Coffee and Kush, nobody ever put a soundtrack to what weed and coffee sounds like. So it's the same. It's the same game plan, for lack of a better term, and I think that's
Mm-hmm.
why it's sticking more. But this time the branding is so heavy, like even right now, and just with the things I'm doing with Shaka, with the shirts, and just making sure that you can see that this is bigger than music. This is like a lifestyle thing
Mm-hmm.
that I just happen to have the soundtrack to.
Okay, let's rewind a little bit. Let's talk about some of your collaborations, man. One thing I've sat back and watched, like just like a proud brother, and I've seen you work with Snoop Dogg. I mean,
Yeah.
Snoop's come to your side whenever you needed him. You know what I'm saying? You had an album with DJ Quick.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, you got Quick and MC8 together on a record. History made
It's,
right there.
yeah, that was a big moment for me. That was a big moment for me. Just being from Compton, that was a huge moment for me. Like, K Day, I was at one of the K Days, and I had this hat, and I was having all the G's sign it. And we were working on Rosecrans. So I went to ask Aid, I'm like, man, me and Quick working on the album, man, would you be down to be on it? He was like, hell yeah. So I went to ask Quick, I'm like, man, I just talked to Aid, man, I would love him to be on the album. Would he be down? He's like, man, for sure. So I set it up. They ended up 2 days later, man, and they had like gifts for each other, and I didn't know they hadn't worked together. I knew they had seen each other prior, but I didn't know they hadn't fellowship like this. So it was like this big ass, like it seemed like a big breath of fresh air. They were taking pictures, and we ended up doing 2 songs, and it was just, the vibe was right. It was barbecuing, and it was a big moment for me. A big moment for me as a kid growing up, because I loved both of them. But
Yeah,
in Compton, you pick sides. And for me to be like, nah, we all from the same spot, man, that was a big deal. Bigger than the album for me, honestly. That was huge for me as a fan.
yeah. And to me, it was huge. You know what I mean? And I think it didn't get the attention that it deserved in the media. You know what I'm saying? The media picked up over the years on their disses. You know what I'm saying? Dollars and Cents, Death Wish, and all that, but it never gave the reunion a love, or the love it should have. You know what I mean? That's how I feel.
Well, I mean, some things just ain't for everybody. I feel like just for those involved, we treated it like it was winning a Grammy. It was so, like, the joy in that room, man. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, this shit like really happened. Like, bro, this is like legendary shit to me. So.
Mhm. But I mean, that moment aside of working with Quick on an album, I mean, Quick's never done that with anybody. You know what I mean? He's never taken an artist aside, but aside from like Sugar Free, maybe. You know what I mean? And been like, hey, me and you we're rocking together. Legendary.
Yeah, it was. Thing is, we had cut some records, and they were just so dope. And then I remember at the time, I think his mom's had passed, and I was like, man, I know he was probably getting called a lot about that, and I just hit him like, hey man, we're just off the wall, like, hey man, let's drop this album. He's like, what you mean? Like, just take these records, let's put them out, man. Just try to give him something else to think about, just as a
Yeah.
friend. And then he's like, yeah, come on, let's do it. So he came to the studio, and then my friend that was there, he made the trailer. He just had a trailer. He had both our careers going. And so me and him looked at each other like, hey, man, this shit might really be something. So we got excited. Again, when it dropped, man, we were #1 on everything moving. And then the untimely passing of Prince happened that day. So that, again, everything took a backseat.
Yeah, yeah. But I really like you guys used the trailer. You guys used one of my pictures that I
Yeah.
had. I took of you and Quick
Yeah.
over at the studio in Burbank when me, you, and Terrace were all hanging out,
Yeah.
and Quick was mixing Snoop Dogg's album. I had you with him throwing up the B sign and all that. So
Yeah.
man, I was like, yeah, I saw my pic in there. That was pretty dope.
Legendary times, brother.
Yeah, man, that was pretty crazy time just hanging out, me, you, and Terrace in the studio with Quick, and then other people would roll through and stuff like that, and those are just fun times.
Yeah.
Um, so let's talk about you're also doing these morning walks with celebrities. What's up with you? How'd you like bring that all about?
Was like, again, during the Coffee and Kush process of doing the albums, I would just go walk with my lady all the time. We would just get up and walk before I started recording, and I just noticed that was when we would have like the most amazing conversations, and I thought like, well, what can be some dope content to just be in this world of Coffee and Kush? I'm like, man, let me just go walk and talk with my friends and just really talk to them about evergreen type stuff, not stuff that's going on currently, just like stuff that they don't know about them. Um, so we took 2 days and we shot four different of my friends. We turned it into 8 episodes, and man, people loved it. So right now we're working out some situations where they're going to be televised in Dubai and a couple of other different spaces, and I'm getting ready. I'm gearing up for season 2. So it actually became bigger than what I thought it was going to be. But I can't wait to begin filming again.
Yeah, and you also dropped the film, the Compton story.
Yes, I did. Yeah,
Okay,
short film. Yeah, it was
so
my first try at it, man. Shout out to everybody that came out and helped me, man. Snoop, Mike Epps, DJ Pooh was a mentor through the whole thing. Punch stepped in at the end and got the title situation for me. It was a lot of people like what I brought. It was my first attempt at it. I just one day was just like, I want to shoot something. Let's try it and let's see how it came out. It actually ended up coming out pretty dope. I shot another one, so episode 2 will be coming real soon.
wow, that's pretty dope, man. So
Yeah,
you got your hands on a lot of different things now, man. I mean,
yeah.
the coffee and kush thing, the clothing, you're shooting films, uh, you're still recording. So what's this big plan? What's the big plan? I mean, where's all this going?
Well, honestly, just business wise, the streaming stuff and the way it's being even like distributed money wise. I mean, it's not smart business to even just do music to get paid off of it. Just to be honest with you, so and the way of doing things now, it's like let's really create this lifestyle that the music sounds like, and then we stuff products inside of it and monetize there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm creating multiple places where it can live. So in doing this, it's like, well, shit, it doesn't have to just be on this place. It doesn't have to just be there. We can go global here. We can go just Instagram here. We can go Netflix here. We
Yeah,
can go wherever we want, and really just like not putting a cap on it is what I'm really enjoying right now. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that I can have the full product in my hand and take it and pitch it around, and you may see it on HBO. You never know. That's the beauty of right now. So the music, I'm gonna always do music. I love music. I you know,
but you stated recently that this
the
was going to be
music.
your I'm sorry, I think you're breaking up a little bit.
That's why I had to come there. But
You recently stated this is going to be your last album, though. Were you bullshitting,
yeah,
or
but
was that?
I was gonna be my last solo album, but I'll still be doing music. I have a bunch of collab stuff out different.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is going to be your last solo album. All right, all right, all right. And what are you filming? I know you've been when I'm on the phone, you're like, I'm filming. I'm busy. I'm filming. So you're telling me that you're doing things. What are you working on?
Yeah, I was filming the Compton story, episode 2.
Oh, okay.
So I
Episode.
was
Okay.
working on that. And just a lot of different visuals and content that you're about to see coming up, like involving a lot of the different brands and like different promo. You know what I'm saying? I started 50 Million Productions, so I was able to like have my own production team for the small and tall jobs. So just really just while this pandemic is going on, while people are kind of sitting still and waiting for things to happen, I can really work, and have my whole 2 years already laid out. Just work smarter, not harder.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Dope stuff. Um, Man, yeah, I'm trying to think of what else to ask you, but but overall though, the one thing that I've admired about your skills is that you've been able to adapt over the years. Like you went to the early sound in the 2000s, man, and then you were able to adapt to do ratchet. I mean, you've done bass style music, function with E40. Was a smash hit that even had Chris Brown on it. Um, you know, so tell me about your versatility, man. Your ability to just adapt to all things.
Man, for first of all, thank you. For me personally, I just always know sonically. I'm gonna try to just be me wherever I go. So if we do a techno track, long as I maintain being problem, it's just problem on this type of beat. I don't like to adjust to the music too much. I like to just bring what I do there, and I think that has kept it where I can kind of sound like I'm adapting, but in actuality, I'm just kind of just sticking to the script, man. I know where I strive at, and I know my weaknesses. So just knowing where I can't play is really where I win the most. You know what I'm saying? Like some things, it's a lot of things that get thrown my way, and I'm like, you know what, man, that might not be the best for me. That might not be it. And just
Mm-hmm.
like turning down the right stuff is really what has kept me afloat.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Sorry.
So just in your opinion, what's your biggest moment recording in your opinion? Like all the collabs you've done.
You talking about like sales wise or just like
No,
feeling wise?
like your biggest moment, like with Snoop or with Quick, with E40. Like which one? What's your favorite one out of all those?
I mean, anytime I get with the dog, that's my favorite time, man. Snoop is like I talked to him today. He always just has something going. Like anytime I can just have conversation with him. I don't know if I have a favorite moment, man, because I just I live in rock. When I'm inside of it, I'm there. Like, so I enjoy all of them. Like they're my favorite because people.
Okay.
I lived. I was driving around doing them dishes to drop them off at your house, so I could be in those moments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was very important to me to like don't get so big headed. Don't do anything. Just sit there and humbly sit here with these goats and just take all the game and just enjoy it. And I did that every time, from the quick
Yeah.
sessions to Dre to everybody. It's like I can't pick a standout one. I just
Okay.
love the fact that I was embraced by the West Coast, bro. Just to be totally honest with you.
Yeah. Now, as a veteran of the West Coast, now, what's your opinion of the West Coast scene as you see it?
I think for the first time, we're gonna have a versatility that probably wasn't accepted during our time. You know what I'm saying? Like during our time, you had to be one kind of way. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
During our time, you had to be one. You have to be one kind of way. You either was street or this backpack thing. Now with everything going on, you have so many different styles of artists out here for the first time, and they all are shining individually. And it's a little unorthodox to some of the stuff that we're used to, but the reason why Atlanta took off because they became diverse, and I think that's what happened in Los Angeles. I actually think the guys that are really truly carrying the coast don't get enough credit, like the Tyler the Creators, the Doja Cats. Like these people are from LA too, and they don't get the love that I think they should get. You know what I mean? Hold on. I feel like those guys we've been talking about for so long.
Yeah. Okay. Dope stuff. Well, brother, I see that. Sorry, go ahead. You're coming in and out right now, wherever you're at. I guess we have some technical difficulties. So just stand by for one moment. Did we lose him, June? Junior, did we lose him?
He's coming back on right now. We just got a little bit of a little lag here and there, so just give me 1 second here. All right, I think we got him here. Check.
Check. Microphone check. There he is.
Yeah.
You there, brother? Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Big Styles.
Yeah. So we were just going over the West Coast. You were talking about Doja Cat and Tyler.
Big Styles. Yeah. Brother Styles, hold on fast.
Yeah, I can.
Can you hear me? Let me see. I know I can see you, Brother Styles.
I'm here.
Hello?
I'm here, bro. I'm here.
Hello?
He probably doesn't have. Can you hear us?
I definitely can hear you.
Okay. Can you, Styles, talk?
Test.
I see Styles for sure.
Hear me now? Hello. Test.
All right. Check. Styles, can you hear me?
I can hear
Problem,
everybody.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I don't think Problem can hear Styles right now. Styles.
Yes.
Styles, say something.
What's up, Problem?
You can't hear Styles? Uh-oh. Give me 1 second. Yeah, let's see how it comes in. Just having a little bit of technical difficulties here, everybody. Sorry about that. Styles.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
There you go.
Yes.
All right. Here we go. It's a little delayed. There's a little delay here. There's a little delay over the internet, so just give it a, just keep that in mind. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, so you're saying that you feel like people like Tyler, the Creator, and Doja Cat don't get enough credit for carrying the coast right now?
No. Yeah, because they're different. They're unorthodox, and it's not considered like the authentic Los Angeles sound. But they're from here and they're kicking ass. You know what I'm saying? They're bringing a different type of diversity. Like all the artists can't look the same and sound the same anymore. That's why we don't grow. And I think for the first time, like you got Draco the Ruler that just got out of jail. He has an amazing story, and then he came home and he's working his ass off, and it needs to be celebrated, just like if anybody dropped an album. I appreciate and love what that new energy brings to the city, because I remember being that new energy and wishing that I was embraced and hoping to get the love that just because I wasn't like everything else that came before me doesn't mean it's not dope. And I think that for the first time, we have about 15 to 20 different artists that are from LA, but are a different version of LA. You got, you got Buddy, you got AD, you got all these different things. Like you got AD, who's a Compton Crib, who's actually hosting a show on No Jumper. It's a beautiful resurgence of things happening that we need
Yeah.
to really celebrate and embrace. Just because it doesn't look like what we had before doesn't mean it's not dope. I think that's why Atlanta came through kicking ass. They had Outkast and they had Lil Jon. It's all the same. It's all from Atlanta.
Wow, that's dope, brother. Well, I see that you're busy, so I'm going to go ahead and let you go about your business. And I really appreciate you, jumping on WestCoastStyles.com. And I know that this is not the last time. I mean, we're going to have you on again, and celebrate everything that you're doing. So if you can end us with a drop for WestCoastStyles.com, please.
Hell yeah. What it do? What it do? It's your boy Problem, man, and we on WestCoastStyles.com. This my brother, man. We done been through it and back, man. I'm happy to see the West Coast back represented the right way by somebody who's deep, deep, deep rooted in the culture and of all your favorites. A lot of us would not be anything without Styles. So pay that homage right now, man. You know what it is. Why?
Yeah. Brother, thank you. Have a wonderful night, and I'll talk to you soon, bro.
Nah, man, thank you so much, man. I appreciate what y'all doing. And, man, give me that, man, whenever we can sit down, you can give me the pictures and the photos and the videos. I really want to put together something dope, man.
Yeah. Me and you and Terrence need to meet on that. I'm gathering everything I can. So,
Okay, most definitely, man. Thank you, guys.
all right, bro. Peace.
All right, brother.
What time is it? Okay, we have some fabulous live music later on, but right now, here's the kind I prefer.